Hello and welcome to Fin24. Today we're speaking to Neil Peterson, who amongst other things is very heavily involved in the property investment education side of things. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you very much, Mashika. It's lovely being here again.
Neil, many people are finding it very, very difficult, very hard to access a home loan through the conventional bank. Many people are finding that their impaired credit records are standing in the way of getting a home loan for that much wanted home.
Yes.
Are there other methods, are there other things, other ways of accessing funds to get a home loan as opposed to the more conventional going to your bond originator, going to the bank? Is there something else that people can do?
Absolutely. I think today there were just stats launched by the banks, and that a lot of people are defaulting because of interest rate hikes and that kind of stuff. So all these increases and what have you are affecting people's ability to pay. So as a result, there's got to be alternatives out there. So we've got to look at why people are defaulting, and obviously because in South Africa in particular, our interest on the actual loan itself is extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
In a country like the United States of America, for example, you can get a 5% mortgage loan, and
Really?
and that's
We'd love that.
5% and fixed for 40 years.
No.
Fixed for 40 years. Now that's, something like that in South Africa is absolutely unheard of.
Yes.
And now you've got to start asking the question, why aren't those products here in South Africa? Not necessarily at the 5% interest rate loan, but why aren't those fixed mortgage rates not here in South Africa? So we've got to start exploring. And remember, the world is now global. So if we start looking at sort of South Africa and what is available for the home buyer stroke investor out there, well, there's a number of products. And just before I get to those products, I want us to say that obviously a lot of people are in distress. I mean, I think it's 45% of people, they just cannot get a home loan. I know the number was a lot higher. I know it was beyond 50%
Yes.
a year or two ago. I still believe it's a lot higher. And it's just because of the stringent application process that you've got to go through with the bank.
Many people have impaired credit records from the 2006-2007 recession, where very many people were put on short time, many lost their jobs, disposable income was a lot less than perhaps what it is now, but that really is standing in their way of accessing a home loan.
Absolutely. Well, that, and it takes a number of years to clear your name off that. And also what the banks are doing, some of the banks are only taking on action from loans of 7 years ago and only listing people today from things that they've done 7, 8, 10 years ago.
Which is actually illegal, but that's another story.
It is a
on its own.
completely different story.
Yes.
So which leaves, the poor consumer out there that wants to invest into real estate or get investments or get any finance for that matter, because you're listed now onto the credit bureaus, and the bureaus have your name and you've got to impaired credit, and as I said, it's illegal to get any loans. So therefore, what are you left with? There's a multitude of things. And, as I said, the world is global, and there's a number of products out there. And I'll just mention a couple. There's a rent-to-buy product, installment sale agreement, a type which just really it's a contract between two individuals where you can take over another contract of a property, where you start paying the taking over the mortgage installments, and then when you're in a position to pay off the full loan, then you can take over those full payments. That's just one, and that's just really a contractual thing. So it's really just a monthly installment, and anybody, whether you got good or bad credit, you can actually access the installment sale agreement loan. The other option, there's crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a pretty new concept here in South Africa.
It is a pretty new concept, but crowdfunding is a term that has been thrown around quite a bit lately.
Absolutely. Well, if you start looking at stokvels and where stokvels came from, I mean, stokvels are highly successful. Came from the townships. You look what happens in the synagogue and how business gets done over there. And so all that sort of joint funding mechanisms have been around. And I think what differentiates crowdfunding from the rest is that a lot of the crowdfunding for property investments in particular, and you get variances of that. You get your equity source financing, you get your debt financing, you get your reward-based financing. So there's a number of different types of that. So And it gives an opportunity for somebody to put in rand where they could own a piece of a building as an investment. You can also do it from a mortgage perspective as well, where you could crowdfund a particular property or a group of particular properties. It now gives people opportunity, no matter what your credit record is, to enter the market.